Hi guys, Dave here with a new rhythm guitar lesson for you. Today we're going to look at Jamiroquai's Starchild. Great kind of catchy riff at the beginning of this one, done with a wah-wah pedal. So I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this. Before we carry on though, I'm going to try this in a slightly different format. I'm going to put the tab up in the screen like I've done for my more recent videos, but I'm going to try and keep the talking side down to a minimum and just talk about the key points. Hopefully we'll get through the lesson a bit quicker and it'll be a better format. But if you guys still prefer me to talk through everything, I'm more than happy to go back to the other way of doing it, the old way. But hopefully this will be a bit quicker. Okay, so let's get straight into it. So the main riff that you hear through the intros and in a big part of the verses is this. I'll do it first with the wah-wah pedal. I'm going to demonstrate it also without the wah so you can hear it a little bit clearer what's going on there. So my main focus on this is that when I'm playing the single notes, it's more what we call skanking. I'm really just strumming rather than trying to pick out individual strings. And I'm using my left hand to mute off the other strings around the notes that I'm playing. So when you hear the first bar, that's what I'm doing, a lot of that. Like that. So I'm not targeting individual strings, I'm just really aiming at the top strings. And a couple of hammer-ons at the end there. Right, the second bar, same sort of thing. And then we're into this. Oh, I should also mention that this is basically in the key of B minor, so the riff is kind of B minor pentatonic. So all of that up to that point is really just single note skanking. And then we get this brief part where we're going to an E minor 7 back to the B minor 7. Again, you'll see the shapes up there in the tab. But what I'm going to do is, rather than play the whole chord, I'm just barring across the second, third and fourth strings at fret 7. Hit the chord. Then I'm going to hammer on these other two notes, 8 on the B and 9 on the D. Strum, hammer, and then hit the chord again with the fingers on. And then we're just going back to the bar for the B minor 7. A couple of scratches, and then hit the chord. Like that. That's the main riff. In the verse, you're going to basically play that riff 6 times, but on the 6th time through, it's going to change. Instead of landing on the B minor 7 at the end, we're going to move up 2 frets to form a C sharp minor 7. This is at fret 9. So the 6th time through, the next bar. As you can see, there are a couple of scratches, hit the chord on another down. There's a little scratch. You can either play that. I've written it as a scratch, but you could hit the chord again, so you go down and then up, or you could do it with the up could be a scratch. Then we go up to the G sharp minor 7 on the down. Again, a couple of scratches. Then we're going to go back down to our E minor 7, down, up, and then back to B minor 7. And that basically takes you into verse 2. That it's kind of like a short little bridge bit that happens. So I'll play those 4 bars together. Like so. So for verses 2 and 3, it's going to do a slightly longer section. Let's go through it. So it goes up the same way. But then it's going to be a little bit more busier on that C sharp minor 7. So once you've done the first push, you get that sort of rhythm. So and then we're going to slide into that G sharp minor 7, sorry. Same rhythm. Then into a D sharp minor 7. All with the same rhythm. Maybe I'll just go over that. So it kind of all comes off of beat 1. So I'll just do it on the C sharp minor 7. So it's just kind of 1, down, up, like that. And then you're just pushing into each chord. And then once we're up to that stage, we're going to do a D over E chord or an E11, whatever way you want to look at it. Generally speaking, when I play these parts, even though it's the big shape that you see on the tab there, I only really target the strings 2, 3, and 4. Two of those, and then little quick hammer on from 7 to 9 on the G, and then back to 7. By the way, all of this stuff through the verses is all done with the wire bar pedal. I've done it without, just to make it a little bit clearer to hear. But if you want to hear the full playthrough, by the way, I will put a link in the video here that I did one a few months ago, so you can check out the full how it's all played together, or all strung together. Okay, so that gives you the ends of verses 3 and 2. Okay, now the chorus, this is where the wire is switched off and we're just on a basic clean sound. Also, I should mention for most of this stuff, I'm using the neck pickup on the guitar for this. I've simplified it slightly. There are little variations on the record, but this is the basic pattern that he's playing for most of the chords. So we're going to start on a B minor 7, and again it's coming off of beat 1, like that. So it's just down, down, up, and there's some scratches in between, as you can see on the tab. They're optional, really. Yeah, there is a little bit of natural scratching just to get the rhythm, but don't feel like you've got to slavishly stick to it. Just get the main hits. That's the most important thing. That's it. Then it pushes into an E major 7, and then carries on with that rhythm into a C sharp minor 7. Same rhythm, and then to a G sharp minor 7. Like that. All the same rhythm. I put some extra scratches on the end just to bring it round. Now on the chorus it'll play that sequence 3 times, and then on the 4th time goes to the E major 7, and then we're just going to shorten it off by doing a G over A or an A11, and then to your B minor 7 on the last push. So if I put the last 2 bars, let's see if I can do this. And that gets you back into the verse or the main riff. Okay, coming out of the 3rd chorus, I think it is, we're going to go into a bridge section. So at the end of each chorus you get the main riff happening, and on this one it's going to push into the bridge. So I'll give you the first push. So it does a riff, oh sorry, but this time what we're going to do is, once we get to that point, we're going to go up to an F sharp minor 7, and then chord wise it's going to go down to an E minor 7, but what the guitar does is play an octave part. So it's going to be there. So that's 9 on the D and 12 on the B. Very similar kind of strumming to the or rhythm that we've had in the chorus actually, but we're just playing it with octaves instead. Now this octave part is working over 2 chords. It's going to do a bar of E minor 7 and then a bar of F sharp minor 7. And this is a really good example of how you can play a really simple thing on the guitar and it'll work over a whole chord sequence, but you don't have to change what you're doing. So we're just like, basically it's a B octave, but it works well over both chords. So it's like that. It just keeps going. So you've got basically 5 bars of that octave, I think, if I'm counting that right. Yep. And then on bar 6 you're just going to play a little part of the octave, like that, and then we're going to do our E minor 7, down and up, and then to the B minor. And that takes you into kind of an overdriven kind of, I wouldn't say it's a guitar solo, but it's another instrumental break. So if I just do that final bar. Like so. So the overdriven guitar part, I'm going to switch to my bridge pickup, and I've kicked on a distortion pedal on the Helix. And again, as far as a single note, it looks like single note playing when you see it in a tab, but again, I think it's more of that kind of skanking idea where you're muting off the other strings around the one that you're playing. So the first 2 bars, again, you can see all those scratches. I'm just muting all the strings off and then pushing down on that 7th fret, then relaxing, then hitting the 9. Little quarter tone bend there on the G string, then again another 4 scratches, and then we're into the next 2 bars. And this is an interesting little move. We're going to play a double stop, sliding from 9 up to 11 and then down to 7, like that. Then we get those scratches again. Then the next bar, one more scratch, then 2 notes together on an up, down, and then that little double stop on the 7th fret. So if I put that together, loose and rough, but you get the idea. Then the next 2 bars, again we got that same sliding movement, and I think at the end there he just slides up once he's hit the 7th fret, like that. Then again, so you can see scratch, hit the note, scratch, hit the note, 9, scratch, then the G string at the 7th fret. Then a couple of scratches, 4 scratches at the end, like that. That's it. And then he just does that slide movement one more time. And then on the record, it actually switches to a clean wah sound. Actually, I'm going to do that now. And it's just an A11 or G over A chord. And it's just all 8th notes. And what he's doing, he's got the wah backed off, and then he pushes it forward as he strums through. So I'm just going to have to turn a little bit to get to my pedal. So you get that effect as it builds into the final chorus. Okay guys, that's all the main guitar parts to the record. If you want to see it all strung together, I say you'll see the play along. I'll put a link to it in the video here. If you want the tab for the entire arrangement, go over to my Patreon page where you can get access to it by supporting me there. I also did produce a backing track as well for this one. So again, for my Patreons, it's all available over there on my page. And again, I'll put a link in the description box so you can go there. Okay, well, I hope this you find this useful and get a lot from it. And I hope you enjoyed this kind of format of the lesson. If you prefer me to go back to the old way, I'm more than happy to. But I think this might be the way forward. Okay, guys, take care, and I'll see you again real soon.